Someone is standing at a pivotal moment, making a decision that revolves entirely around you. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but it's happening quietly, in the corners of their mind. Thoughtful. There's a person who has been thinking about you far more than they'd ever admit aloud. Maybe the distance between you feels strange, or the quiet feels heavy, as if nothing is moving on the surface. Yet underneath, something significant is unfolding. This person is at a profound emotional crossroads, facing a choice that isn't trivial or casual. It carries real weight. It's not about fleeting messages or passing moments. It's about your presence, your energy, and the unique place you occupy in their life. Sighs. They are staring at themselves and asking a difficult question. Do they move toward what is real with you, or retreat to what feels safe and familiar? Welcome to the Jung Code, where we explore the hidden truths of the mind and the deeper connections that shape our lives. Today, we're diving into the powerful decisions someone is quietly making about you and what it really means. Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights that help you understand yourself and others on a deeper level. Right now, they are wrestling with the idea of holding on or letting go, and that struggle is reshaping them internally. On the outside, they may look calm, ordinary even, going to work, laughing with friends, replying to messages as if nothing matters. But inside, it's different. Their thoughts circle back to you in unexpected moments. Late at night, early mornings, those rare quiet pauses where the noise of life disappears. That's when the real questions emerge. Could choosing you redirect the path of their life? Could stepping forward mean failure? Could doing nothing risk losing you forever? Silence here doesn't mean indifference. Often it's fear wearing a composed mask. Some people hide emotion because they've never learned to feel safe in it, not because they don't care. Caring feels risky, and yet it's unavoidable. They are torn between desire and fear, with you at the center of that tension. This silence may actually be the loudest evidence of how much you matter. Most people drift through life, leaving only small, fleeting impressions, but you didn't. You made a mark that went deeper, awakening parts of them they'd long avoided. You challenged them gently, creating longing and fear simultaneously, showing them truths about themselves they couldn't ignore. That is why this choice weighs so heavily. Choosing you isn't simple. It demands real growth, a shift that shakes the part of them that prefers comfort over honesty. Connection like this doesn't vanish with silence or time. It stays in the body, in memory, in the pulse of their mind. You were not random, you were meaningful, a presence that offered direction, warmth, and clarity. Once someone experiences that, returning to numbness is impossible. Now the pressure mounts. They understand that inaction is still a choice, and every day of silence makes that choice heavier. They sense that waiting too long could cost them the chance with you entirely. Someone else could recognize your worth without hesitation, stepping forward while they remain trapped in indecision. And yet, the past still echoes. Old mistakes, old pain, old fears speak louder than reason. They are aware that the weight of your connection is real, and it forces them to confront everything they've been avoiding. Every moment of reflection brings them closer to a decision that could change everything, not just for them, but for the path they share with you. Their hesitation isn't always about you. Much of it stems from what happened before you entered their life. Old wounds, past mistakes, and quieter fears they might never voice. At the core, they worry they aren't enough for you. Deep love often brings deep insecurity, because when something matters, self-doubt grows instead of fading. They question if they can truly be what this connection requires. Can they show up fully, remain open, and resist the urge to retreat when things feel real? That question follows them everywhere, quietly shaping their thoughts. Meanwhile, your energy matters more than you realize. The way you respect yourself, prioritize your peace, and stop waiting for answers shifts the balance. Sometimes, the moment someone truly recognizes your value is the moment you stop depending on them, and that shift creates subtle pressure that slowly forces clarity inside their heart. They replay memories of you in their mind, the way you listened, offered space, and brought calm into chaos. These reflections are random yet persistent, each one pushing them to face a truth they can no longer ignore. This connection wasn't accidental. You embody honesty, depth, and emotional truth, and mirrors like that are uncomfortable for anyone not ready to confront themselves. That's why they move closer, then pull away. They crave you, but fear vulnerability. Time won't erase this. It sharpens it. Life without this connection feels flat, and the weight of responsibility presses down. They ask themselves if they can show up consistently, protect what matters instead of sabotaging it, and stop offering half-hearted effort. Choosing you demands honesty, maturity, and consistency, and for someone who truly cares, that kind of truth can feel terrifying. They sense you changing, even if you say nothing. You're no longer chasing or over-explaining. You're grounded, centered, focused on your own life. That shift unsettles them, because when one person stops chasing, the other loses the comfort of control. They start to realize your worth isn't waiting on their fear. They imagine you moving on, finding peace without them, even letting someone else step into the space they left empty. That creates urgency, forcing them to face their attachment and the fear of rejection. Every day they delay courage. They feel the weight of what they're risking, the regret, the tension, the knowledge that silence won't replace depth. Avoiding the feeling doesn't remove it. It only postpones the inevitable reckoning. Your role isn't to convince them or chase clarity from someone hiding from themselves. Your role is to stay aligned with your own truth. That is your power. When you commit to your own growth, you stop debating your worth or proving what should already be evident. Either they rise to meet you or they step aside. Both outcomes propel you forward. This is bigger than romance now. It's about who they are as a person. Choosing you means choosing honesty, integrity, and a life without hiding. That standard can be terrifying for someone used to protecting themselves with distance, but it's also the mirror that will reveal who they truly are and what they're willing to risk for the connection they can't ignore. Some people are comfortable admiring someone from a distance, but true closeness asks more than fantasy ever could. A deep connection requires presence, accountability, and the courage to stop performing and start truly showing up. That is where fear often takes over. They may act distant, hide behind logic, or make excuses about timing, but the real issue is simple. They're terrified of failing at something that genuinely matters. With you, there's no hiding behind games or illusions. Truth is all that remains, and truth asks a lot of people who have spent years surviving through avoidance. At the same time, they see your strength more clearly than ever. You're standing firm in your value, unshaken, unpleading, and unshrinked. That presence makes you impossible to ignore. They remember how it felt to be around you, and now no one else quite measures up. Real connection leaves a lasting mark, and that's why the idea of you moving on hits so hard. As your life continues to grow, they can feel the shift. They sense that you're no longer waiting, no longer tolerating mixed signals, confusion, or hesitation. The middle ground is disappearing, and they now face a stark choice. Step forward with real intention, or step back and risk losing access to you entirely. The indecision that once offered comfort is now draining them. They are confronting a truth they can't avoid. If they want you, they must be real, not perfect, honest, present, and willing to engage fully. Silence itself begins to answer the question of what they are capable of. Your peace has become the catalyst for clarity. When you stop negotiating your worth, life stops negotiating with you. If they move toward you, it must be with genuine purpose. If they step away, it reveals the limits of what they can give. Either outcome frees you from the limbo of hope and confusion, allowing you to stand fully in yourself. Now their inner struggle is starting to translate into action. They are weighing the safety of the life they know against the possibility of a life that truly includes you. Every memory, every moment of your presence, every quiet shift in your energy forces them to confront what they really want. The distance that once protected them is no longer comfortable, and indecision is no longer an option. They are being drawn into clarity, slowly, painfully, and undeniably. The choice in front of them is no longer abstract. It's real, immediate, and unavoidable. And as they step closer to resolution, the energy around this connection intensifies. Something that was once subtle and quiet is now pressing, demanding acknowledgement, and finally forcing a decision that could reshape everything between you. They are beginning to see that the walls they built to protect themselves have also kept them lonely. The silence they once wore as a shield now reflects back everything they've avoided, their unmet needs, their emptiness, and their desire to be truly understood. Every day they hide is another day they drift further from the life they actually want. This is where inner struggle turns into outward awareness. Watching you carry yourself with purpose and self-respect pulls at them in a way that can't be ignored. It's no longer a question of whether you're right for them. They already know that deep down. The real question is whether they are ready to become the person who can meet the standards this bond asks for. Can they release the older, guarded version of themselves, the one shaped by hurt, pride, and distance, and rise into someone capable of fully showing up for you? They notice the growth in you, the inner work you've done, and it inspires a part of them to rise as well, not to compete, but to avoid being left behind in a life they know they are meant to step into. This shift shows itself in small ways at first: a subtle reaction, a slight check-in, a change in tone, a momentary effort to show up differently. These moments may feel random, but they are deliberate tests, quiet steps to see if they can handle the intensity of this connection without retreating. They are gauging vulnerability, courage, and safety, trying to determine if they can come closer without losing themselves. But it's not your responsibility to make the path easy. The distance is theirs to cross, and the only thing that can give them courage is realizing that you are worth the journey. This is about letting go of false control and stepping into truth, feeling rather than overthinking, and acknowledging that matters of the heart don't follow logic or perfect timing. The decision is forming quietly in the depths of their heart, and soon the pressure will be too strong to hide behind silence. Whether this leads to a new beginning with you or a final truth that closes the door, a breakthrough is near. You are on the edge of change, not because they have made their choice, but because you have already chosen yourself. You have already committed to becoming whole, and now life is catching up. They are moving past surface-level thought and confronting the emotional cost of their inaction. The distance between you has become a void, swallowing possibility. Stability feels flat, routines lack depth, and conversations feel hollow without real connection. The more they try to push you from their mind, the more central you become, the person they want to celebrate with, the person they want by their side. Pride no longer serves them. It was a mask for insecurity. They are realizing that fear, not luck, broke things in the past, and with you, being fully seen feels possible instead of threatening. Because you reached beneath the mask, you've stayed in their thoughts. And when they finally break the silence, it may not be with casual words or excuses. It may come with depth, honesty, and a version of themselves they couldn't offer before. They are not simply thinking about speaking, they are thinking about stepping forward as someone transformed, someone willing to meet the connection you've inspired. The weight of what they feel now is real, and it mirrors the growth and strength you have already chosen for yourself. This is the moment where everything shifts, not because they were forced to decide, but because you stood firmly in your truth, and your presence has become the mirror they can no longer avoid. They are beginning to see that the person you've become, more healed, more grounded, more ready to stay, is someone they can no longer approach as they once did. They recognize your self-respect and the fact that you are no longer available for old patterns, and that realization makes them pause. They are waiting for courage to finally outweigh fear, and that moment is closer than it has ever been. You may already sense it. The energy around this connection is changing. The air feels different, and something that once felt frozen is now beginning to move. The distance between you wasn't wasted. It gave both of you the space to grow independently. You strengthened yourself without relying on validation, and they were forced to confront the parts of themselves they could no longer hide. You are no longer two people lost in confusion. You are becoming two individuals ready for a real moment of truth, and your focus must remain on your own path, peace and happiness. They are noticing more clearly than ever that you have built a meaningful life without needing them to complete it. That truth is both painful and motivating. They replay conversations, imagine what to say, and realize that empty words won't be enough. If they come forward, it must be with honesty, depth, and real intention. There's also the fear that they might already be too late. Someone else could have stepped into the space they left open, giving you the certainty they were too afraid to provide. That fear, strangely enough, is pushing them out of overthinking and into action. They are seeing that you were never asking for perfection, only truth. Waiting for the perfect moment has cost them honest ones, and that urgency now follows them, pressing on their mind and heart until staying away hurts more than risking rejection. When that shift finally comes, it may arrive suddenly, a late-night realization, a sharp moment during an ordinary day, an inner awakening where they can no longer hold back, and if they act, it won't be to take something from you, but to offer something, recognition, honesty, respect, and a clear acknowledgement of what this connection has always meant. The silence wasn't empty, it was full of fear, reflection, and a struggle they couldn't name. They didn't stay away because nothing was there. They stayed away because what was there felt too big, too real, too powerful for the version of themselves that was still hiding. But hiding comes with a cost, and now they know it. Love cannot grow where courage is perpetually delayed. True connection requires true presence, no masks, no half-effort, just honesty and choice. Meanwhile, the most important decision has always been yours, the choice to honor yourself, to stop shrinking, to stop waiting in uncertainty, to become whole with or without anyone returning. That is the turning point, the power and the reason that when the truth finally arrives, whether as a return, a message, or an ending, it will not break you, it will set you free. Sometimes the biggest shift begins quietly, in silence, the moment you stop begging for what is already your own. Thank you for watching the Jung Code. If this video spoke to you, hit like, subscribe for more insights, and comment "Awakened" below to show you felt the message and connected with the content.